low. You're tired of fluff pieces, cute stories, soft takes. This is steel-toe truth, straight shot facts. No sugar, no spin. Welcome to the Man Cave News Network. Fraser Media on the badge. Stand bold. We talk work, boots, busted knuckles, paychecks, pride, and getting older. We cover busted pots and broken promises. Wins on Friday, losses on the field. Real life headlines from the shop floor. Every scar, every story reveal. Yeah, this is Man Cave News Network, where the coffee's strong and the facts cut clean. Yeah. Grills hot, voices hotter, zero fluff on your TV screen.
All right. Okay, so this is the deal. I haven't really been making videos a lot for a while. I mean, for a variety of reasons. The problem is I watch some really good journalists that are superb on YouTube, but I don't see anybody tying everything together, and I see a lot of people that are really impatient right now with Donald Trump and the situation in Iran. So what prompted me to go ahead and start making videos again was hopefully to point out some things that most people are not considering, especially if you don't have a military background. Um, Especially if you don't have a military background or you don't have a lot of understanding of the military. And this is not to slight anybody or cast what they call shade nowadays on people, but this is the thing that you have to consider, okay? When you look and you see how brilliantly Donald Trump orchestrated liberating Venezuela, not a single soldier was sacrificed. No blood or treasure, as they call it, okay? Okay, in the 1 year he's been in, he has completely shut down the border. He brought down prescription drugs. He equalized all the trade imbalances, got rid of so many regulations. He's brought so much production back to the United States. And and the worst of it is MAGA people, the people that voted for him. They voted for him, and then they seem to somehow think that it's their Monday morning quarterbacking that is going to solve all the problems. And I learned some time ago to have some faith in Donald Trump, okay? I mean, the book that he wrote, The Art of the Deal, is still like it's considered the Bible on Wall Street. He is brilliant. He would have been a fantastic general. He kind of is, actually. So with Iran, people are anxious. They want him to do something right away. Now, I was going to say if it were Biden or Obama, they would go in, be reckless, get Americans killed, and do it in a stupid way. Except for the fact that I don't think they would lift a finger to help the Iranians, and we certainly have seen they would not help the Venezuelans, okay? This is the thing, okay? In a military operation of this magnitude, this is not the same as Venezuela, okay? Iran is armed to the teeth, okay? They fought with Iraq, back in the 80s. And Iraq and Iran were using biological and chemical weapons against each other. So when Trump doesn't act right when you want him to, you have no idea what's going on in the background. Trump always has a reason for everything he does. You know, what if the Iranian security forces, army or whatever, said, "Hey, we're gonna dump massive chemical warfare on the people." You don't know what the threats are behind the scene. On top of that, Trump is brilliantly strategizing because 2 times now he has made Iran, the republic, the Islamic Republic, inbred shitheads, believe that, okay, it's coming right now. They're going to launch a military attack, and they literally launched their shitty air force up into the sky, ready for a fight. That they would have been waxed. I mean, the United States Air Force, best in the world. United States Navy, best in the world. Both with aircraft with superb pilots. I mean, come on. And the beauty of it is they got all hyped up, and then Trump stepped back. And what people don't realize is Trump is willing to play dumb. He's willing to say, "Yeah, it sounds to me like they're not murdering people anymore or whatever." It must be so hard for him because if you know that that's not true, for God's sake, have some faith that Donald Trump is not stupid, and he knows that too. He is signaling to the Iranians confusing signals. And these Muslims have a history of not understanding Americans. In fact, everybody that has ever fought us has miscalculated. I can date back to the Japanese in World War II, except for Admiral Yamamoto, who totally understand. He was educated in an Ivy League college in the United States, and he was not happy. He did not want to strike the United States. In fact, I think his words were, if you ever invaded the United States, there's going to be a gun behind every blade of grass. Okay. And you gotta keep in mind, and this sounds like I'm just trying to be insulting, but I'm not. These people are inbred. They're literally incestuously inbred. They are stupid people. They're not smart at all. They're just evil. They're smart enough to know how to bully people and use power. And then you got to consider this, okay? Trump is executing a military operation along with Israel, of course. We've never had to do this before, where you have to delineate with specificity the Islamic Republic part without harming the civilian population. This has to be done with precision, okay? And the assets all have to be in place because Trump, if you haven't learned anything, look at what he did in Venezuela, okay? That's brilliant. I have never seen that in my lifetime from a president because Trump understands the military. He understands, for God's sake, he understands air power. The first president in my lifetime that understands air power, the Air Force, Navy. He understands his assets. When you look at Obama and Biden and Jimmy Carter, they are literally retarded. And they get in and micromanage and they don't know shit about the military. Donald Trump learns from the military and he figures out who the best people are and the best generals to execute the best plan. And then they come together and they present it to Donald Trump. And Donald Trump makes decisions politically on the timing and stuff like that. And he's brilliant. So this weekend, I'm very hopeful that there's going to be a strike. But if there isn't, there's always a reason. And you have to consider they possibly have nukes. We know they have ballistic missiles. We know that they have regularly fired them at Israel. But Israel and their Iron Dome have never had like a suicidal last Hail Mary of every ballistic missile coming out at them at the same time. They have to prepare. Okay, I understand. I understand the anxiousness. I feel the same thing. Thousands are getting slaughtered in Iran. Okay, but you have to consider Trump doesn't act on emotion. He's very strategic, and the whole thing about like 4D chess or whatever is pretty accurate. He always is thinking way ahead of the game. I mean, look at it this way: the timing of this is when Putin is totally bogged down with the war in Ukraine. Like he is just he is emasculated. He can't do much of anything. China has got some gigantic economic problems. They do not want to tie up the United States. Trump understands timing. He understands negotiations. He understands these deals. And he has so much integrity that blows me away that I know he's chomping at the bit. I know he has to bite his tongue because he would love to come out and say, listen, it's strategy. It's just like the Epstein files. All the idiots that were saying, we got to get the Epstein files, blah, blah, blah. And Trump is like, I have to secure the voting system. We have to get the voting system fixed, or none of this makes any difference. And you guys are screaming at me to get the Epstein files. And I said in an earlier video, and I was right, that it's going to be a massive bunch of terabytes of data that isn't even going to make sense. Have you heard anything about it since you released them? No, you haven't. But Republicans, everybody is like, oh, we got to get justice. And it's like, that justice is important to Donald Trump. That's why he shut down the border. That's why sex trafficking has been totally at a standstill. He has destroyed their whole industry. So he's very well aware of it, but he's focused. He knows what he has to do in his term. He knows what has to be done in the first 2 years, let alone 4 years. And some of you people, you see what he's done in the first year, and you say things, God, that blow my mind. It's like, well, I don't know who Trump's advisors are that are telling him blah blah blah. Let me tell you, I'm going to tell you who Trump's advisors are. Okay, I'm going to fill you in on that right now. Okay, Trump's advisors are Donald Trump, Donald J. Trump, Donald Trump, President Trump, Donald Trump, Donald J. Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, and Donald Trump. Okay, he is demonstrated his brilliance, and yet you people, and even MAGA especially, you're sitting there saying, well, I don't know who his advisors are that are telling him this, but I don't think you should do that. It's like, for God's sake, think about it. He's always got a reason for every single thing he does. My whole thing is just wait and see, wait and see. And MAGA has had this rash of retardation of everybody jumping in saying what Trump is supposed to do and should do. And I'm like, you haven't figured out yet that he's 10 steps ahead of everybody and he's got a reason for doing what he's doing. The Epstein files is a perfect example. He's basically playing dumb on it. He's throwing his enemies off. He's like, well, yeah, Epstein, it looks like he killed himself. You know that he knows that Epstein didn't kill himself. You know that when Kash Patel and Dan Bongino came out and said it looks like a suicide, and you could tell in their faces it killed him. Trump is basically throwing all these scumbags off kilter. He's doing it all the time, just like he's doing with Iran. He gets up and he says, oh, it's going to be a big invasion. Come on, man. And he says, it's going to happen at this time, right? I knew immediately, it's like, okay, he's basically throwing the idiotic regime in Iran off. Okay, like I said, they literally are like Neanderthal inbred, and they are nervous and they're paranoid, and they put their planes in the air, and their planes can only fly so long, and the fuel's been cut off, all right? And then Trump's like, yeah, they told me the executions are over and blah, blah, blah. He's planting seeds of discontent and argument within within the regime. They don't know what to think. Trump is completely unpredictable. Okay, that's what he's doing. And in the meantime, while he's doing that, he has assets that he has to relocate from the last country that he liberated after 47 fucking years? And that's not good enough for you. I don't know who his advisors are, but he's got to go in right now. It's like, no. I guarantee you, we have had assets on the ground in Iran for quite some time. Okay? We have intelligence. We have to consider what they are capable of doing regarding biological weapons, chemical weapons, okay? Which we know they have, particularly after the war with Iraq, okay? The potential of nuclear weapons. We know they have ballistic missiles. We don't know if they're going to unleash their ballistic missiles right into their own country. These people that are fanatics, which the Quran orders them to be. The Quran, Islam is a demonic, satanic religion. There's no two ways about it. And when you consider that these, the IR, what is it, the IR, Islamic Republican, the total shithead, evil people, okay, what do they have? Think about it. What they have is nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. The people that are gunning down civilians right now, they know their time is short. And they're like, Adi Akbar, and they're gunning people down. And the Iranian people, they are brave, and they're just going to keep coming at them. So what do they have to lose? What do they have to lose if they just lob chemical weapons right into a crowd? Trump has to think about all of these things while he's over here with the retarded economic forum morons in Europe. He has to deceive people, and he has to put out mixed signals, because that way nobody can. It's just like Ronald Reagan. When Ronald Reagan was running for president, he was asked, can you at least say you would never do a preemptive strike, a nuclear preemptive strike? And Reagan said, no, I can't say that. And people were like, they called him a reckless cowboy, and we're going to go to war, and there's going to be nuclear war. And you know what happened? Just the opposite. The Iron Curtain came down. What scares the shit out of people is a leader that's strong, who they respect, and they cannot predict what the hell he's going to do. You never, ever show your cards. Obama will show his cards. The first time the CIA does anything positive or anything gets anybody, Obama or Biden, they run right out and say, we did this, and we got this person. The thing about people like Trump is they won't say a word. You have no idea what they've done in the background, because there's a bunch of inbred people that really don't know for sure. What happened to Muhammad, blah, 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 you know what I mean? It's like Trump plays to win. Trump is playing to put permanent changes in place for the better, okay? Obama, Biden, Carter, the Bushes even, they hate America, okay? They play the American taxpayer, okay? They are evil. The Democrat Party is 100% evil. No question about it. A large part of the Republican Party also is. But they can be manipulated. So when people say, oh, what's Trump doing? Hanging out with like Lindsey Graham, one of those gay people, or posing with a picture with Tucker Carlson. The reason he does that, think about The Godfather. You know, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. Trump is brilliant at that. You don't think he knows who's doing what against him. You don't think he has things in place. I guarantee you, leaks that come out of his administration, he's smarter than me, and I know what I would do. The people that I'm not sure of, I would release little bits of information, and then I would see what information makes it out into the media. Okay? And these idiots don't realize that Trump's watching them. And he released certain things to certain people. And these people tell on themselves. Okay? And he knows it. And they're busted. What he does is, doesn't say a word, acts like he trusts them. Okay? This guy is so brilliant. He is like the General Patton, George S. Patton of American politics. So if you're a Trump supporter, you need to shut the fuck up and sit down and just watch, wait and see, you know, because there's so much that we don't know what's going on regarding Israel, regarding what Iran may or may not be doing. Like I said, we have people on the ground. If you don't realize that, you don't know anything about our military. And we have to coordinate all of our forces the best that we can, risking the fewest lives possible, and surgically delineate Iran to make sure that we hit military assets and disarm and disable the Islamic, Republic. And it wouldn't surprise me if Trump is maybe even has plans of capturing, the Ayatollah. We don't know. But for me, and I don't understand you people, I don't understand you MAGA people. It's like, you see what he did in Venezuela, right? I look at that and I'm thinking, I'm totally cool with just sitting back and watching and seeing what Trump does because he's several steps ahead of me. But half of you fucking idiots out there that are coming out now and saying, Trump, you betrayed Iran, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you're idiots. We're not going to send in like Delta Force by themselves, and we're not going to start just bombing all by itself. He has proven he understands coordinating all the forces. He gets it. He lets the military be the military. And then he stays in his lane and listens to his generals that he has handpicked because they're not the traitor gay ass generals that Obama put all over in the military that are just politically correct morons. I mean, the military is not an experiment, not a social experiment. Well, let's put people that have a penis, that think they're a woman. Let's make them officers over other men. That is just the stupidest fucking thing ever. Okay, that's absolute stupid nonsense. And I personally have talked to people that served in the army, that served in Afghanistan, that I know, that have told me that, because they served, the ones I'm talking about served partly in the Obama administration and partly in the Trump administration. And they explicitly told me, and you hear this all the time, that they would be fired upon by these ragheads, right? And they couldn't fight back. They had to sit there and wait until commanders told Washington, D.C., and we had to wait, they said, and see if Obama gave the go-ahead to retaliate. Okay? Obama is a traitor and he's a criminal, and in later videos, I will absolutely prove this demonstrably. Okay? And they said that as soon as Trump got into office, when they were under attack, Trump didn't get his hands in it. He let the military and their officers handle it. So when they got attacked, they could immediately fire back. A whole new way of warfare came along with Trump, where they got aggressive, where if they got fired upon, rather than just taking a bunch of cover, they adopted a new policy of wherever the fire's coming from, they're going to concentrate and run towards it. And it literally cut down the attacks that have been killing so many Americans. The military knows. I know. You know, there's a security thing. Trump is not going to tell you anything. He's not going to show his hand. He's not going to show the hand to the media. And he sure as fuck isn't going to show his hand to you idiots that are supposed to be MAGA that think you know more than Trump does. He ought to do this and he ought to do that. And he should go in right now. It's like, you don't know shit. You don't know jack shit. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I guarantee you that. But I guarantee you, when he strikes and when Israel coordinates with us, that's it. That regime is wiped off the face of the earth. And it's going to be a permanent thing because Trump is thinking ahead to the future. Because we have never done that as Americans because we've always had shitty presidents. Think about it. What have we done? We never accomplished shit from everywhere from Korea to Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq. Our soldiers and our military kicked ass, but our politicians made sure it wasn't worth a shit. And you look at what Joe Biden, the retarded criminal idiot, did pulling out of Afghanistan prematurely, getting a bunch of fucking people killed. You know, not just like Americans and the American Marines. We're talking about massive number of people that were slaughtered afterwards, just like when Democrats turned their back on South Vietnam after we left, after Nixon did a pretty good job of leaving things and leaving them in the best position to defend themselves. Democrats voted against supporting South Vietnam anymore. We were supposed to be supplying them with the guns and the tanks and the planes, and Democrats voted against it. And North Vietnam exacted the most horrible, torturous revenge on the South Vietnamese. I mean, read some books about it, and then look at how it spread to Cambodia, otherwise known as Kampuchea, I think, with Pol Pot, and the fucking slavery and the evils that went on, while Americans threw a bunch of soldiers in and got them slaughtered, 50 or 60,000 in Vietnam, and then turned around and left, and everything they did was worth fucking nothing. And then our soldiers come home and get spit on by liberal hippie pieces of shit. Okay? Trump ain't gonna do that. He's got our back. He's got our back. And he is gonna do everything that he can to make absolutely sure that there's unnecessarily not a single American soldier that has to give his life. Okay? So for those of you that are saying, just jump into the buzzsaw, get it all done, you don't know shit about the military or how it operates. He's coordinating these forces with the expert advice of actual real generals, not Obama type generals that wear high heels and dresses, even though they have a penis, kind of a penis, it's probably about that big, and wear wigs and makeup and shit, and they were all political hires. These generals were fucking terrible. And I know this firsthand. Like I talked about the Army, I know for a fact, like my boys, William and Kevin went into the Air Force. And okay, the Air Force doesn't physically have the hardest basic training. I mean, we know that. We catch a lot of shit for it. But compared to when I was in, nowadays they're like, oh, I got to pull a card because I'm feeling hurt. When I was in, they were literally like, you faggots, and they would insult the shit out of everybody to try to get them stirred up enough and shitty enough, because the Air Force, their policy was just to kick people out because everybody wanted to be in. Well, that's not the case anymore because of all this. I could tell you for a fact, people going into basic training under Biden, they spent half their time not learning about the military like I did, but learning about men with penises being women. They were indoctrinated with all this horse shit. Okay? That ain't, what is his name, Pete Hegseth or whatever. That's not the military we have now. He's restored the military. The military is what it is. It's not a social experiment. It's not about lowering standards so that women can be a Navy SEAL too, or an Air Force PJ, or what the fuck ever. That's just pure fucking nonsense. Like I said, this video is not for liberals. I don't talk to liberals anymore. Okay? This is for the benefit of people that support Trump that maybe just don't understand what's going on, and you're getting really frustrated. And I understand, because I've felt the same way. It's been really tough. But when I sit back and think about it, Trump has a reason for everything he does. Trump is thinking this far ahead. People that are screaming at him, you got to go in right now and stop everything. Trump is thinking, I'm not only going to stop that shit, we're going to make sure that the change is permanent and it's secure, and that Iran is going to have an ironclad agreement with the United States. We're not going to get fucked by anybody anymore. Just like why we have to take over Greenland. Here's why. Europe and Scandinavia are being completely taken over by Islam. Islam is nothing but a bunch of fucking dirtbags that are evil and want to kill everybody that's not a Muslim, right? Okay, Denmark, talk about a big pussy nation. I mean, okay, Sweden, Switzerland, and Europe have just put up the white flag, and they're allowing all these evil rapist pieces of shit to take over their countries. Okay? We can't trust Denmark to do anything good or right with Greenland. Greenland is very strategic. I'm all for America just forcibly taking Greenland. In fact, I am all for America becoming as imperialistic as ever. Imperialism, in my opinion, is not a dirty word. We have to fight back now, because Europe and all these people have capitulated to the point that Islam is intentionally doing everything they can to take over the world. We have to be on the offensive. We have to stamp out Islam everywhere, including our country. I don't give a shit about their fucking rights. I don't. Okay? I'm not going to sit by and just watch these inbred Neanderthal pigs insert Sharia law into America like Tucker Carlson wants so bad, and Megyn Kelly and Candace Owens. Okay? We need to completely take over the Western Hemisphere completely. Trump understood this is our backyard. Okay? We're the only country in the world that's ever had this much power and refused to use it. Okay? We need to just take Greenland. The Greenlanders that are there are going to know in 10 years, like, yeah, everything's way better since the U.S. took over. They're not happy with Denmark. Denmark kind of treats them like shit, but it's all they have. and they offer, okay, you can come over and get educated in our shitty schools. Couldn't be any worse than our shitty schools here. But Greenland has got to be, we need to just take it. Just no fucking bones about it. Just take it. And Trump's the guy that can do it and will do it. And we need to literally take over Mexico and make them comply. Fucking cartels, we need to go in with the military and we need to destroy them all. Just fucking kill them, knock it out, and threaten Mexico. You better comply. We're not doing this in our backyard anymore. And now Canada has suddenly joined a partnership with China. That ain't going to fly. Trump is going to put an end to that. We have been getting so screwed for so long in ways that I didn't even understand until recent times. Canada is going to be forced to comply. They literally, I am totally for just putting them under the thumb and saying, you're part of the United States now. We need preservation. We need to understand that Islam is a stinky, dirty, evil, satanic religion. Period. This asshole that just took over New York, stupid New Yorkers, stupid fucking New Yorkers, voted this asshat in. There's videos of him fucking cheering to fucking destroy Israel. You know, oh, now he's in charge of New York City. Oh, he's going to make free buses and free this and that. He's already basically said, I'm sorry, I can't do any of it. You know, it's all these fucking morons, white liberal ladies, and, you know, in Minnesota, fuck Minnesota. And there's no way ICE should leave Minnesota. They need to stay there. Can you imagine if these sick, disgusting Minnesota people manage to get Trump to back out? Basically, what that means is laws are, Trump and the government is trying to enforce laws. Minnesota acts like a bunch of pieces of shit. And Trump's going to go, okay, well, we won't enforce the law if you're that mad about it. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the slippery slope on that? Okay, he needs to send in the fucking army and the fucking military and force them. Geez, what is it? Something like 19 billion fucking dollars that Tim Walz knowingly helped to bilk out of Minnesota? Federal funds, my tax dollars, the bunch of fucking daycares that don't even exist, or leering centers. I'm sorry, but no. And the mayor and he purposely stoked all the violence that's going on right now. Just look at what they said and how they reacted. You know, and Tim Walz needed that because he's going to be indicted because he's a criminal. And it's a distraction, and he gets to try to look like he's a fucking governor, and he's a piece of shit. And people not only aren't happy with the border being closed and lower prescription prices and all of that, they're pissed off because Trump suddenly made Washington, D.C. a place you could walk at night. Democrats suck. They're all liars. They're all 100% fucking liars. And they're going to criticize, they're going to be not happy if Iran and Iran will get liberated. They're going to act like it's a bad thing, just like they did in Venezuela. The fucking Democrats. Free Maduro, you know. My God, you know, this you can't have any intelligence and not understand this. And like I said, this video is targeted to people that I know agree with me on this stuff. The only thing I'm trying to get out and hopefully correct is the perception of how the military works and how military campaigns are to be carried out. We are so conditioned and used to the fucking morons from Bush, God, Bush, Obama, you just keep going back, Clinton, that we've been conditioned to think there's just nothing we can do. We put our soldiers over there, and it's like, no, we are so much more powerful than anybody in the world that we can just go in and get shit done. And I'm all for using military power if you're not going to set us up to lose. And Trump is not going to do that. He's proven that. So this is my first video. I'm gonna tackle other things. If you want some real analysis, I post this stuff in the middle of the night because I'm not so sure I even want all my Facebook friends or anybody to even look at this stuff, because it's tougher with people that you know, because and I'm not comparing myself to Jesus, so don't take this the wrong way, but Jesus couldn't get any healings or anything done in his hometown because everybody was like, isn't it this construction worker, blue collar, blah blah blah, from Nazareth, so I feel like my videos would definitely have a lot more impact with people that don't know me, because otherwise they're just like, yeah, isn't the other guy that's, he barely survives, and he did drugs and he played in a band and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, trust me, I'm not equivocating or whatever you want to call it myself with Jesus, but the concept is the same. So I just post this stuff in the middle of the night so that people that are interested in my opinions, they can come and seek me out by going to my page. I don't really care to have my analysis show up on the news feed, because I think mostly people are stupid. And if people agree with me, they're so chicken shit, they wouldn't even hit a like button. Because most Christians today, conservatives, won't take a stand on anything. Even if it's chopping little kids' genitals off. I'll alienate half of my clients or my, business partners or whatever. I've never followed that, and as a result, here I am at 62 making 17 something an hour on a night shift. But I can look myself in the mirror and know that I stood up multiple times throughout my life for what's right, and I paid a price for it. I don't like paying the price, but I'm just disgusted with the modern American church and the mealy-mouthed Christians that don't have the balls to do anything. Jesus was not a nice guy, and he wasn't a pussy either. And if you think that's sacrilegious, then hey, let's have that debate. I know the Bible fairly well. So my videos will only be appreciated if anybody even sees this by a very select few people. And my analysis has been spot on, and I'm tired of being right, and I'm tired of being ahead of all the talking heads online. I am going to do a video introducing a lot of the really good, I call them journalists. I hate the term content creator. There are some really good alternatives that are not the worthless idiots like Megyn Kelly and Tucker and all these people, and even Benny Johnson, who was afraid to call out all the anti-Semitism that's gone on. There are some really super good people on YouTube that are amazing. So I've shared a couple of them last night. I'm going to do a video, hopefully, that offers to people that are just fed up with all the YouTube crap. I'm in a position working a night shift that I have more time than most of my friends do, most people do. People that, geez, are taking care of their family, they're working a day shift. I have basically a very kickback job where I get to take in information all night long. So I've discovered a lot of gems out there and a lot of amazing people that their analysis and their instincts are superb. So I'm going to do a video sharing those um, because these people are fantastic. The reason I did this video, and we'll do other videos, is because a lot of these people, they're spot on in certain areas. I guess the thing that I'm able to do is I'm really good at pattern recognition and big picture. And so I can sort of sew it all together um, because I'm 62 years old and I've been hyper vigilant since I was like 10 years old. I've been studying politics and history my entire life. When people want to say something to me like, oh, yeah, show me the link. And I'm like, you know what, idiot? This is my link. This is my link. You're not going to find it on Google because you're an idiot if you rely on them at all anyway. You're just as stupid as anybody that cites Wikipedia as a source or AI. Oh my God. Jeez, talk about a misled young nation right now. So anyway, this is going to be it for tonight. I said it was only going to go like 10 or 15 minutes, which is really hard for me to do. I don't know how long I've been going right now because I can't find my glasses. I took them off with this shirt on, and I don't know where they're at. But anyway, if you're interested, you're welcome to go to my YouTube channel, give it a like, give it a comment, subscribe. I'm not trying to become monetized. People are working hard on getting 100,000 and so on. I would be thrilled if I just had 100 subscribers that actually were interested in quality content. That's good enough for me. I think we need more people in the lower levels to support some of these terrific people that are in the intermediate lower levels. They'll have like 100,000 followers, etc. Not a million morons like Candace Owens, etc.
Come up a chair. Big man. If you got some work boots, lean back. This is the Man Cave News Network from Fraser Media. Where failures took a coffee break and facts clocking on time. We count calluses, not 2 clicks. Measure twos, then busted knuckles, laid chicks. From the shop floor to the tailgate. If it matters in your world, that lands on this plate. Man Cave News Network. Turn it up. Let it bark. Hey, strict talk. Still slide. Lighten up the dark. Hey, heavy. News. Crazy media. Dial G, crazy Italian. Listen close, no spin, no mercy. This is where real men get the truth. Sent one of ago. Right to.